It's very important.
We are proud
now
of
we are
who we
proud.
are.
Yeah, now we
Yes.
are proud of.
Yes, I mean this.
By
this,
presenting a guy from So with the R on So, the band So. Point of correction.
Point of correction.
Guy
So
from So.
The guy from So.
Yeah.
So guy, not band So.
Not band So and So.
So.
Yeah. Good morning, Emmanuel.
Mr. Jumper, good morning. How are you today?
I'm good. Hope you too.
How's the beauty doing?
The beauty is doing okay, Emmanuel. And how are you doing?
Great.
With all the rain over the weekend, so how did you manage? How was your weekend with all the wahala?
Yeah, I was sad to hear about the building crumbling. And really sad because these are avoidable homicides.
Yeah.
I think that somebody should be responsible for killing others. And this is the way we can stop these things happening. When you're building a building and to lodge human beings, or it's just like you take a car for repairs, a passenger vehicle, and you do not tighten the wheels well.
Very well, yeah.
You know, you are committing homicide.
No.
Yeah, true.
And so I think that is the way it should be seen, for people to think twice before they do certain things. So when they start bringing those people to book, there will certainly be another attitude.
Yeah.
As from now onwards. So it's really sad to think that you went home to bed and the next thing.
We have a little problem with the song right now. But there is a little problem with the song, but we think that we will fix it. But
to think that I heard somebody said the building was even cracked. There was some alert that this building was supposed to collapse. So those who were living there actually knew that they were endangering themselves. Don't you think that it was high time for them to evacuate that building, seeing the signs and the cracks on the building?
I know it's not easy.
There is a collective responsibility. I don't know the laws involved in that, but we know that there used to be home inspections from the sanitary when we were going up. They check the homes, they check the toilets, they check all of that. So there is the local government responsibility.
True.
That's the mayor's office of what is happening in their community, the state of roads, the state of buildings, sanitation and all those things. There is that. There is the people who live in the building themselves. And then there are, of course, the landlords who collect the money every day, who are actually feeding from this building which they have. So, but whatever the case, I was expecting to hear that there were some arrestations and some inquiries.
There was
and some inquiries legally, and then of course, what can we do as a preventive measure to immediately scout in all communities any buildings that present a threat and immediately take a decision on bringing them down, because this is supposed to provoke a certain awareness and a new attitude.
Yeah, sure.
And they were working on that. They were working on that building, and the people inside. So they said that they were working at the, maybe it was A+4. Yeah, they were working on the top of the building at the same time. But unfortunately, the building collapsed. But as you say, we need to take measure right now to avoid this situation to occur again. Happen again. It's very important. And we are here on Monday. And Monday we are here to talk about the preventive, about psychology. The mind, to work on the mind. With you here, Emmanuel, the last time we were talking about this, the Congress.
Yes. I want to congratulate and continue to encourage all the professional psychologists. Yesterday we had a meeting and they were coming in from all over the country. I want to say those psychologists, psychotherapists, mental health advocates, clinical counselors and psychologists who are still hesitant and who are not joining the bandwagon, they should do it. We are never late as a bigger force. When I look at the motivation and the commitment of all the members, I believe I become more proud of my profession as a psychotherapist. So I think we have to congratulate ourselves and we have to motivate ourselves. Everything is going well, and the video of the of our last passage with my colleague Vanessa was a very powerful welcome in the social media. So yeah, it created a lot of positive awareness. You could see how dynamic she was, you know. So this is saying that the population is actually looking forward to have knowledge, wisdom, and guidance. And we should be looking forward to developing more programs. Why not? And because this is actually responding to the needs of the society, you know, on a cash basis. You get up every day, you have challenges, and you should be happy to be watching a program that is telling you how good you are or where you can improve yourself and why you should avoid this, and that this person speaks to you like they know you. You know, this type of programs are healing, really. And of course, there is also this aspect of boundaries. Where are the limitations in terms of your competence? Where are the limitations? Where does your ability ends and where does that of the next person go? The Congress will be working on the ethics, the code of conduct of the mental health professionals, and this is very, very important, you know, because there is a lot of abuse in these industries. Like we've talked about certain professions where abuse is very common, and these professions are the ones in which the power rapport is very imbalanced. It's where the professional has a very strong influence on the seeker. And when kind of rapport, the force n'est pas équilibré. So when we have this problem of power imbalance, there is a big capacity to abuse. And so there must be measures to anticipate on this. And these measures are not just to anticipate, they are to be highlighted during the training of the professionals, so that in the training process, as I'm giving you skills, I'm giving you the limitations at the same time, so you take the two together and it permits you to apply them together. So we look at psychologists, medical doctors, sometimes lawyers, judges, military and security executives, pastors,
even actors in the film industries, I think so.
Not this is like being popular. It's not. We are talking about where the profession gives you. So pastors, priests, and so on. You know, you go the imam, the traditional doctors, and so these professions immediately. You beauticians, massage therapists. You know, I was forgetting that. When you come to these people, you come in a very low profile because you are in a situation of anxiety or worry. And these people are looked upon to be the ones to bring you the solution. So the chances are that you are venerated. And this can move into your head and you lost control of the glory of that is showered on you, and you start seeing yourself like, you know, somebody who has everything permitted from that. Okay, so
I think that this you try to work on that measure with the professional, right?
Yes.
Will be the professional, but now when will be the time to make them available to the client? Because if I go there, it should be like a law to know that, okay, if you do this or that, you not have the right to do this. It's an abuse. So
that's why we have programs like this to educate the public. You know, we have on Good Morning Cameroon a financial consultant who comes and tells you this is how you have to declare your taxes. It's to give you knowledge so you know how to work with the finance consultant, how you have to with the tax inspector. So these programs are meant to educate the public so that you know you have rights, just like you have obligations. When the professionals meet together, they also in code of ethics have a disciplinary committee in every order where they can actually prosecute members who do not respect the code of ethics. That is what gives credibility to a professional body, to a society. So the Society of Psychologists actually is coming together to be able to build this, and also to actually let the public know who are the people who are qualified to exercise. You know, we've had a series of things happening like, I'm a coach, I am a coach, I'm a coach, I am a coach, I'm a coach. And everything's, you know, an influencer is a coach, And when you go into the organization of intellectual material and how it is transmitted in the form of training and education, and how they are evaluated and validated at the end, you do not find really clear pictures on how we attend this and what we are capable of doing. So in this situation, you will realize that the professional mental health competencies are coming together to say we have university professors, lecturers, and different practitioners coming in this society to, to reflect on how to sanitize the professional environment and educate the public.
Yeah,
Just imagine that you have a website where you can check in who is the closest, or you just ask Google the closest psychologist, psychotherapist in the area of Aqua, or I need a clinical counselor, or I need a marriage counselor, or I need a children mental health expert, and when you tap in, it's a number of addresses comes to you, and you verify if they are members of the order. This already gives you like 50% of reasons why you can choose. And now when you move into meeting these people, you have another 50% to be able to evaluate what was the therapeutic relationship, what is the rapport that is between you and this person. And then of course maybe the environment and so on, and then other things may come and say, okay, I'm in the right place. And in this way you have less chances of falling into the hands of very approximate competence that leads to abuse. Yes, these are sort.
That was very important to have this kind of board, right?
Absolutely.
It's very important.
So we continue to encourage and to look forward, but the public must know that this Congress is open to everybody. Actually, there is a fee of 5,000 francs for everybody who wants to attend. And these are very important. You see, when you do mental health, we have the mental health experts, okay? We have the law that manages the society. So there are legal experts who want to, get more exposure knowledge on how this activity is actually managed and where the malpractice can be handled and things like that. But we have patients. We have people who have actually undergone serious mental health challenges in depression, anxiety, schizophrenia, mood disorders, those different pathologies, thank you very much, that we've gone through. Some of them have healed, some of them are in the healing process, some of them are not even aware. So when you come to a place like that with all of these people, there is a beautiful mix that is improving on the healing process. Because imagine that during a conference, somebody who has been abused by a mental health professional relates his experience. It brings up a beautiful debate, which now enhances the wisdom behind an order. And then of course we have caregivers. You cannot just be saying you are concerned about the patient. What about the people who sit near the patient, who accompany the patient on a daily basis, who are there? Sometimes it's the wife. I had the experience of working with a mental health patient, and to be able to help him, he was getting psychotherapy from me and psychiatric treatment from the La Quintini Hospital. But to be able to heal him, we needed his wife.
Wow.
But the wife was actually having a lot of challenges because of the attitude of the husband. Being a schizophrenic, he had developed a phobia, or a sort of like a phobia for the wife, and looking like you are the cause, you are the devil behind my illness. And she was suffering emotionally from this attitude. Most of the time the schizophrenic may not even know they have a mental problem. And very intellectual, very smart, but well, there are indications that make this is the case, diagnosis. And so she had to bear the emotional pain, yet play the role of a caregiver, acting loving and caring, though on the other hand you have from your sweetheart words that are not appealing and nice. And so she needed also mental health support from us.
Yeah, I can imagine,
for her to carry this through. And at the end of the day, when this family is united, they had a little son, and the husband was like much elderly compared. This was quite a young girl. She was quite young to play this role, to carry this challenge. And sometimes, I'll tell you, the family say, no, it's not a mental health problem. This guy is involved in some mystical activity.
Because that's what they always attribute. They'll say,
yeah, so the family may just back up, and the only person is your wife that is with you to take you through this experience. And I had this in my case study, and it was an impressive. Actually, that was my first case of schizophrenia.
Okay.
Yes, and so, you've learned in school, you've read the books, but this is your first case, and it just landed on me on the morning.
Practical.
The psychiatric doctor, I think of my mentor, Dr. Jean. He left the world already, and may his soul rest in peace. He was such a wonderful, very experienced guy. He just landed that case on my table, and I was fumbling with my notes and my understanding, but that's the learning process. So we are saying that there is not only the patient, there is also the caregiver. And congratulations to all of you caregivers. You have to take heart. And most of the time, their wives, they are mothers. And sometimes they are children, wonderful children who have to care for parents. We have Dr. Vanessa, who has been working on dementia. She has a book on it. I hope sometime you invite her. If you look at the case of dementia, it can be hallucinating to handle people like that. This somebody who can just get up, walk out, and doesn't know the way back home, and just walk into the
street,
into the life.
Yes, that is it.
Infinite.
So and you will meet him or her. She's talking very well, conversing well, and she may have forgotten her name, the name of her family members, where she's coming from, and so on. And now you have to go on alert. In Europe, it's easy. The police can know what to do. The different calls, but here. We are not very much aware. You may just believe that, well, what is wrong here, So to find such a person may be very complicated. And when I see a young colleague working on such a very sensitive issue, this is like looking into the future very fast. If we start having trouble preventing buildings from killing us in our sleep, how well we will be ready, to meet up with this type of challenges of like dementia, which are cases that are existing already. And of course, there are many, as a therapist, there are many ways of lifestyles that can reduce these cases coming, what are the most likely causes, and so on and so forth. So the mental health industry is a very, very powerful aspect of the human development. So it will affect everything. The political stability will affect the economy, it will affect the social standards and lifestyle of the community. So.
Yeah. It's not easy though. It's not easy. That's why we think this is an opportunity for you guys, a professional, and for us as a client to have this. I can call it a book. Let's say law where we have everything. We have restriction.
Yes.
We have
there will be the code of ethics. There would be the guiding rules and principles and so on. There will be sort of be a manual to talk about who are professionals. How do you qualify? I trust this, but we have very, very qualified senior colleagues and lecturers, professors who have been training most of the therapists in the country, and others contributing from exterior. And of course, there are many other things in the perspective. I have been into like 2 World Congress of Mental Health. I'm sure we can link up and get the world network into the system, and it will be beautiful.
Okay. Thank you. We cross our finger to see the process going on and be a success. But we'll talk about it next Monday here. Okay. Okay. Thank you for stopping by, Mr. Emmanuel Shangong. Thank you, Nene Sherry.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Thank you for always coming back, and thank you, Jumper, for bearing with me. It was a cold morning, but you actually lit up the room with us here. Thank you, FX, and Eric, the IT, who was behind the camera doing everything possible for this program to be what it is today. And we also say thank you for you guys for staying tuned for these past 2 hours, and continue watching STV because we have exciting